two squads, and here we go. ZETA Division versus DreamHack Esports.
Alright, so what are the lanes going to look like? Definitely no invades, but we are seeing a bit of a share in that central area here for DreamHack, just trying to guarantee that nothing gets stolen, no one gets slowed down. So you can see DreamHack, they're trying to start off as strongly as possible.
Yeah.
This does come at the cost of them not pressuring the Dratini at all, but maybe they have plans for these lanes.
Yeah, I am so curious of how that Crustle is going to work out. I mean, Delphox plus Crustle is a ton of crowd control in the early moments of the map, but there's not many targets on the side of ZETA Division that are really trying to dive or make any kind of movement, so it will be an interesting matchup. We have an early push by Tomato, though, on this Phantom. Will get a slight score, looking to maybe get out of this fight, but they do secure the opposing team's Bunnelby and Focus Band, plus that Trevenant passive. So much survivability. Tomato gets away scot-free.
I love how much action we saw over a Bunnelby of all things.
Yeah, what?
Swablu and Altari, though, could be a bit of a different situation, but unfortunately, the secure side of DreamHack is just not there. There's too much burst on the side of ZETA Division, so they just snap everything up, and look, the Urshifu was up. Maybe this is the go sign for DreamHack to do something, because they've got the Surging Strikes, and the one thing Surging Strikes Urshifu does so well is be an absolute menace on those goal zones. So you go for the dives, you pressure those Pokemon on the goal pads, and potentially get knockouts while you do it as well. The topper, though, going to be running into a skirmish, but look at that, Drizzile just coming in for assistance, and that's a free knockout.
Well, I mean, we couldn't have set it up any better before the match started. We had a Drizzile and Dragonair
Rom, okay.
into the enemy central. I mean, we know what Rom is capable of. And to tell you the truth, this is a ZETA Division that we have been watching for largely the competitive season. Play compositions so similar to this. The Dragonite and the Teleon are really signature picks of this team, and that was a huge part of the run at AO's Cup, where they got that second place finish. This is tough for DreamHack. This is the phase of the game that they should be dominating on paper. This Urshifu, this Leafeon with the Comfey, this should be huge for them. Right now, ZETA Division is answering everywhere.
Yeah, and now the fact that Tomato has evolved into that Trevenant as well, the Woodhammer basically is going to stop the Urshifu from being able to do what he wants. So, two knockouts, Crustle and Urshifu. I'm really worried for DreamHack here. It's really going to have to come down to this pocketed Leafeon, but I fear even Katazera doesn't have enough damage by himself to be able to look for those knockouts his team so desperately needs.
And it's kind of incredible too, even with that Comfey pocket, they don't have the survivability either. We're watching Leafeon dive in, and maybe if they jumped in with that extra boosted auto, they'd be able to take the KO, but almost certainly they'd be giving up 2 in return with that Leafeon and Comfey combo. Now, it's going to be a Regieleki focused on by ZETA Division. No surprises there. They got the great secure, so they want to have that score tempo, because obviously Rayquaza is going to help with that. Final one will be the Regice. The Slime Shot goes a little bit wide, but pretty early on the secure anyways. Fire Spin holding Trevenant for a slight moment as we try to chase this, but great play by Tomato, pulling First away, and it will be Dragonite, I believe, with the Unite move.
Wow.
From the office of Rope will be landing onto that objective.
This game is looking so clean for ZETA Division. They are finding everything that they're looking for, and DreamHack, they are scrambling to figure out what resources do we have left. What can we do? Because the main objective for this lineup, as you said, it's not doing what it was supposed to do during the laning stage. And unfortunately, if you compare the two teams and you want to look at scalability, it's heavily swinging in ZETA's favor. So what do you really do here? Backcapping's not really an option for this composition either.
No, you have to win team fights. You're absolutely right. And I would say maybe you could find some 1v1s, but with the way that Kakata and Tomato have been rotating around this map, you are never going to find a squishier target alone without a defender or a support to back them up. Wajiro, the whole squad showing up here. Tomato on the back line, but it's a big push by the Crustle, but look at that. They're barely hurt, and they're able to walk away. Urshifu in the back line. Unite move, going to try to hit a few targets, but they're just taking too much burst damage. Rom is simply not missing at the moment.
Yeah, and the Bliss Assist on Rom almost deleted the Urshifu as well. So the fact that ZETA, they're not looking at being extremely efficient with their Unites. They just say, if we need the Unite for that damage burst, we're going to use it so you don't actually get those free KOs.
Of course.
Oh, this team is playing so safe. DreamHack, they've got to come up with something extremely creative or something so out of pocket that basically surprises ZETA Division. But the way that this team groups up as well, they're never splitting up. They're never giving those opportunities for a free potential knockout. So for DreamHack, again, can they pull something out of this hat? A rabbit, a dragon, obviously a knockout. That's what you want out of this hat, but
yeah, we're looking for something specific. I'll find that knockout. Okay, I'll take that one, please. They're going to take a decent amount of damage. They still have that Hydro Typhoon, Leafeon in the backline, but Rom with that great response with their own Unite, and now there's just the damage is swinging in from Zeta Division. Big engage, the Rebel Rouser stuns a few targets, and we're getting real low on the Regieleki, but yet again, it's Zeta Division to find that secure. Tomato lining it up.
This team, they are so disciplined with all of their movements, just finding those objectives, being able to jump onto those targets. The Delphox gets knocked out here as well. Knockout after knockout, and Zeta, they are just pushing themselves further and further ahead of DreamHack. And I fear they're going to reach a point where they hit critical mass, where they're just too powerful and too strong that DreamHack, no matter what they do, they're going to eventually run out of gas. It might have to come down to this defense here, but even with the extra defensive capabilities of that goal zone, they're just being pushed further and further away. Regieleki goes in, they will be able to score, and all the bonuses are not there anymore. It's broken. Urshifu's going to go down. Zeta Division absolutely dominating this matchup so far.
You know things are going sideways when poor Kofe has to leave from one of their teammates and actually just try to slow down the Regieleki at that moment. They were just throwing themselves in front of it, but obviously Zeta Division not giving DreamHack anything, not an inch in this battle. I mean, what a double feature of what Japan is capable of that we've been able to see in these couple of matches with both the Zeta Division, of course, Fennel dominating the previous one on stream. This has been quite a showcase of what a lot of people consider to be the most powerful region in Unite right now.
Yeah, I think at this point, a lot of people are going to have to agree it is one of the most powerful regions. Now, unfortunately, actually, Zeta Division losing Rom in the back lines, Leafeon actually getting a successful knockout there, so a big boon for the team. Meanwhile, the rest of Zeta Division fighting up against DreamHack in that bottom lane, and so far things are not looking too bad. They're hanging on, but not looking too convincing here. Maybe the plan here is to use the rest of the team to create that diversion and draw attention away from that roaming Leafeon. Maybe that's what DreamHack is doing, just causing that little bit of confusion and just saying, if we see Rom, we take Rom.
Yeah, I mean, they'll take any opportunity they can get right now, and Leafeon, of course, going to be the roaming option, but that does mean that basically every other team fight is going to be a 3v4, essentially, with the rest of them trying to face the bulk with Leafeon and Kofe being, of course, that duo. Kadazera getting in a little bit of danger, but that side shot going wide is definitely a grace for them. They're going to try to make their way towards maybe the goal zone to score or to face that Regieleki, as now we have DreamHack and Zeta Division collapsing on this objective.
Oh, it actually gets stolen by the Leafeon! The Emerald two-step, and it was even a knockout onto Rom as well. Zoinks, we could be looking at a potential comeback here for DreamHack. Again, they're starting to pull out some really out-of-pocket strategies here. It's working out for the team, and now with Rayquaza on the field, Kadazera, if this man can continue to do this, cause all this chaos and confusion, they might have a way to steal this game back.
Yeah, Kadazera with a good little dive there. We take away the Dragonite passive, so no more Marvel Scale for Vitobo, so the next dive will be
We're scoring
big.
as well.
Yeah, we'll get a decent back half in. I mean, it'll make that scoreline closer, but Zeta Division locking down that Urshifu that's one of the best offensive targets that DreamHack has, and now it's gone. So, Rayquaza will start being tapped by Zeta Division. Frisira trying to run away from Kokata, who's got that chase. Hyper Beam gonna go wide. Great eject one for the Delphox. DreamHack, at this point in time, is just trying to buy time. Dragonite in the backline. Frisira using that Unite move is only gonna land on the Trevenant, really, not have much impact other than that. Rayquaza still being touched, but Zeta Division right now in defensive mode around this objective.
And it looks like Zeta, they don't want to play anymore. They actually want to slowly start to rip away at this Rayquaza, and DreamHack, they've caught wind of this. They want to try and get the steal. They're actually going to try and go for another knockout. Emerald two-step, they get it. The lockdown. Kadazera so close yet so far, and they somehow get it. The Urshifu, GZ, and getting the Rayquaza, but DreamHack, after a game where Zeta Division looked like they were beating them down in every single fight, the chaos, the roaming Leafeon, Kadazera, the confusion he created, the opportunity DreamHack needed, they found it.
Unbelievable, but I mean, the hope hasn't gone out for Zeta Division yet. They're going to try to push forward. No back half potential for DreamHack Esports, but
no fireworks.
A team fight win needed for Zeta Division. Big Hyper Beam lined up.
They got it!
Simply not enough damage. DreamHack Esports is going to hold on, and they're going to take a 1-0 lead in this series.
I the fact that this team managed to keep themselves together mentally, because I think in a lot of cases, many teams would have been broken down thinking, what do we do?
Yeah.
But regardless of the situation,
Be the most exciting thing in this game. I don't know. The gameplay is going to be electric as we jump into game number 2 between ZETA Division and DreamHack.
you know, I'm looking at this game and I'm kind of wondering, was this Mammoth Swine the right pick? Because in their eyes, were they thinking, oh, we're just going to have to deal with the Urshifu, we just need that single target lockdown, but Ice Fang Mammoth Swine, it excels when it's trying to focus down one target, but when you have 3, 4 Pokemon that you potentially need to actually lock down, what's the goal here for Tomato? Does he have to just basically stop everybody? Is he still going to focus just on the Urshifu? He is causing quite a bit of problems here because he has stolen, look at 2 buffs on this Pylo, so he's doing so well on this little slider. And can they actually stop him? If he makes that getaway happen, it would be a miracle with the eject button. Tomato!
Unreal.
The
The
fluff
heist
Tomato!
of the century! Tomato going to escape from the enemy central area with both buffs and their full, I mean not their full HP bar, but a whole lot of it. And they're going to be making it back towards their side. I mean, what a response from game number 1 into game number 2. Urshifu left untouched in the enemy central area in that game number 1. Certainly not the way in game number 2. Love that adaptation from ZETA Division. We see some spicy stuff from DreamHack, but a great
that
shift
top
from
lane.
ZETA.
This is a nasty top lane. They look at all these Pokemon that are just going to want to jump right on top of you, especially with the Urshifu as well. This Dodrio is going for the little pokes, maybe can go for a sneaky pickup here. The Comfey though, not enough sustain unfortunately. Dodrio is going to go down and Comfey will run away. They do have Tomato coming back, but I don't know if Tomato can do this by himself if you get the freeze. They do have the Leafeon coming in, so it looks like they do get a secondary 3rd knockout here with the Ice Fang, and they managed to stop the attack from DreamHack.
Okay, solid. So they keep a lot of those points away. I mean, the main part of that initial push after they got the Urshifu was to get the double-blade evolution. Honedge was still stuck at that level 4. They wanted to get some scores, get some of that attack weight pressure, and get to the double. So they got there, and it will be Sacred Sword that Kadasera's going to be playing. They get a big engage, and that's the immediate KO onto that Pylos line. Percentage of HP missing damage is huge in that specific option. I love this Aegis/final pick. I honestly do.
And we're actually looking at a flamethrower Chandelure in this game. It's not going to be overheat, so we're looking at some big damage numbers in this game. It is a really interesting choice. We'll see if it does pay off for them, as unfortunately Blissey will be picked off next to Kokoda. Are we going to see another attack? We have the Espeon Rom on the sidelines. They managed to get the pullback onto that Urshifu. Instant knockout. That's one of the frontliners. They still have that Mr. Mime, but man, this Lampert, there's only so much you can really do here with a Mr. Mime sitting in your front lines. The flamethrowers, they're doing a little bit of work. A nice eject. They're not being caught out by the Pilot Swine, but he's been caught out by the Dodrio. We have the Urshifu coming in. Oh, barely surviving thanks to the regen on that goal zone. Oh my goodness, that Lampert's living the edge of that cliff.
Yeah, man, shout out to Lampet of Kadasera, but nice dive by Giesen to take that knockout, but it's Vidopo on the top side picking up 2 as well. So we're trading knockouts basically everywhere. This Comfey Leafeon duo, we saw it from DreamHack, we saw it really help win the game, and now ZETA Division gets their hands on it. So interesting. But I was talking about that flamethrower earlier. I can't think of a harder composition to land flamethrower explosion hitboxes onto than a Dodrio Leafeon composition.
Yeah.
That is so hard to lock down, but I mean, they want that damage number. They believe in their ability to land those skill shots, and they're ready to go. I actually think it's going to be interesting to see the second move option. I mean, traditionally, I think Imprison's the best competitive move that they have, but it is Poltergeist. The living room is really tough for Dodrio and Leafeon to deal with, so I think getting all that furniture in play is actually going to be huge.
It's going to be so good for zoning those very small choke points as well. We do get a big push coming out from DreamHack, but look at that, they're instant knockout onto that Urshifu. DreamHack, so they're not going to be letting up at all. Espeon with the Psychics, the Lamb throws them in the air. Another KO, and in the back lines, even the Chandelure as well. DreamHack not successful with that push, and ZETA Division will get their counter scores in and break the skull zone.
Okay, DreamHack is cooking. That is a shit Ninja Doll Aegis/Slash as well. I have played too many games of that in ranked, and I have won some of them. So I don't know if I'd be comfortable with it on the world stage, but right now DreamHack, they up a game against ZETA Division, and they're feeling it right now. You can tell. But ZETA Division has been the ones responding in time. Triple Trample stopped by that barrier, so nice little wall for a moment, but he will not do much more than that. Ignite Midnight for the blind, like we saw. But
It's on cooldown now.
Yeah. It's on cooldown. Won't be here for the next set of Reggie objectives, but hey, at least Chandler didn't get knocked out.
That's the most important thing, right? Gotta make sure your attacker is going to be big and strong when you need them the most, especially around that Rayquaza pit. We do have a bit of a kerfuffle happening here in that top lane, and they just slash with the Mammoth Swine here, the Pylo Swine still actually. Tomato has not evolved yet. You can't really go for those little cute plays, especially with Tomato around. You really have to make sure you have that vision to spot him out. Down bottom, though, they are trying to go for a fight as well. They don't quite get the lead, unfortunately, thanks to the Bliss assist. The damage is there. The Mime is there with the lockdown as well, but they can't comfortably take this goal zone.
Yeah, they get a little bit of points scored in, but it feels like if they try to gain an inch, then ZETA Division just shoves them down immediately. So a little bit of scoring, but not enough.
Their mobility is probably the one thing keeping them in this game at the moment because ZETA Division, because they've not been very easy targets to catch. They always have some way to escape these skirmishes, and unless you have that hard lockdown for DreamHack, they can't really, they struggle to finish on their targets.
No, you're so right. Like, look at this. Urshifu's trying to chase down a Dodrio. Normally, Urshifu, a Pokemon that can see any individual target and find the KO, Flux Zone or not. But these speedsters are having a great way of getting out, and Mammoth Swine's just general tankiness and ability to lock down with Ice Fang is just too much for them to contend with. Big dive in with Lance the Earthquake, stuns multiple targets, grabs Kadazera, lines up Vidopo. That will be a Shedinja Doll. Coup de grace onto the Mammoth Swine, and there we go. That's the H-slash combo. They're still hanging in this fight.
Still hanging on that fight. They weren't able to get the Chandelure, so just firing off those flamethrowers from the back lines. But I think they're slowly starting to run out of gas because they've lost Tomato in the back line. So the Chandelure left uncontested. Urshifu trying to catch up to that Dodrio, but just can't quite find that opening. And instead, I think they will be retreating. So DreamHack can deal with the Regieleki. Unless Rom wants to do a cute little play. No, he's going to play it safe. Okay, don't go too crazy, Rom. Okay, it's not Inteleon, it's Espeon.
Amazing call up by Kadazera to do that rotation. That was a great play from ZETA Division. Leafeon, Comfey, and Dodrio all immediately went down to the bottom path after the fight was a little bit lost trying to get back.
Oh my gosh, the Egg Bomb setup!
But no, not going to take the Registeel. Dodrio going to clean that one up.
The coordination for DreamHack, they are looking impressive today. The fact that they got that free knockout on Tomato, just perfectly stacking all of their stuns, just goes to show how informed DreamHack are today. And the fact that they were able to take that game #1, it wasn't a fluke. They are legitimately a fantastic team today.
Yeah, they're also looking really good on the scoreline, despite only having one goal zone available, or having no goal zones broken, rather, in this situation. Clearly, they're primed for some pretty big overdunks at any given moment. And Leafeon and Dodrio roaming right now. Some early damage under the Lissy, but of course, that will be out-healed. We're getting real close to the final stretch. Olivio caught out. That will be the showtime, and it's Mammoth Swine to go down first. Urshifu and Aegislash able to combo those moves. Dodrio caught by both walls and the egg, and now it's all hands on deck. ZETA Division with the response. Leafeon's able to take out the Mr. Mime, and Vidopo is bringing this game back around. From Vidopo and Wajiro, hang on, and now they're focusing on the Ray.
And they're going to be able to get it as well. They have so much damage potential. ZETA Division finding the chink in DreamHack's armor and being able to bring it to a game #3 in this matchup. Tomato may have been a bit of a hindrance, but I really feel like in that case, he was really a trap. DreamHack really focused and grouped up to try and take down the Mammoth Swine, but once everything was done and dusted, when you're grouped up and you're up against a Leafeon and Espeon, you are asking to be united.
I know, exactly. All those Unite moves were so strong, and we just were out of cooldowns on DreamHack. Simply did not have enough firepower to continue that fight. And ZETA Division are just simply not done. They are in the enemy central area still. A lot of those Rayquaza shields may have faded, but they still want to keep on the pressure. Vidopo still having essentially a full Ray shield, can threaten back caps at any moment. A minute maybe left on the clock, a ton of goal zones to work with, but DreamHack has one of the hardest tasks you can possibly have in Pokemon Unite in front of them right now.
Yeah, they essentially have to score somewhere along the lines of 450, 500 points if they want to comfortably be able to take this game, but with 40 seconds to go, they're thinking about it. They have split up. They've got 2 in that bottom lane, 3 in that top lane, and only Tomato is defending that top lane. We do get a bit of a mini score here thanks to the Urshifu, 26 points, and we do have a hard push happening up top, but back at home, there's a Dodrio, there's a Leafeon scoring some 3 points in the enemy base, so I think at this point, DreamHack, they're thinking of game number 3 here. Thinking, we did great in game number 2, but what was the issue in this matchup? And it really came down to that quick skirmish that happened right before that Rayquaza.
Yeah, that was so important. I mean, a lot of cooldowns used to knock out that Mamoswine. Decent responses. I like that Mr. Mime retaliation, but not enough. Leafeon, Comfey, and this Espeon simply too strong. In Zeta Division, tie up our series 1-1. In one, Pikachu in another. Not a whole lot to write home about, but here we go. Game number 3 between Zeta Division and DreamHack Esports. One team moves on, one team goes home.
And on the side of DreamHack, look at how they're guaranteeing this farm for their Urshifu. They're saying, we will give you first-class escorts to ensure you get those levels. So I love the fact that they are playing so securely here. They're not taking any risks at all. And it's going to come down to the Urshifu to stabilize the lane for that Torchic up in the top, because you don't want to have that Blaziken delayed at all. Pikachu doesn't need to worry about evolution, so I think they can kind of scrap that bottom lane if they really want to. It's that Blaziken that's going to have to get that assistance. But for now, they just want to take those extra little bit of experience there, get the evolution up for the Urshifu, and we do have a Surging Strikes Urshifu for this matchup.
All right, so we're going to go with the Rapid Strike a couple games in a row. Keeson's made it look pretty good, but they've been struggling to really close out some of these knockouts without a Unite move or without a Bliss assistance. They won't have either of those for a few minutes, so let's see what the early impact is like. Big Electro Ball taking a lot of that. Tomato's going to use the eject button, but well done. They will make it back to shoot their goals.
That eject button just playing so nicely there for Tomato. So unfortunately, because that was a failed attempt on the side of DreamHack, they're going to go for the rotation instead. Combusken is holding their own up there against that Dodrio Comfey combination. And the fact that Pikachu has shown himself, got to be so careful, Rom, actually thinking of maybe trying to go for a play himself there. But these teams really trying to position themselves to go for those very quick knockouts. And actually, this might not look good for the Combusken. It's a free knockout for the Dodrio. Blissey to follow as well. This is a free score for Zeta.
Okay, a 4-player rotation into the top side. It's a whole ton of investment, almost 5 players. You see Tomato on the mini-map kind of rolling up to join them as well. But a great response from DreamHack Esports. This is their chance to dunk a ton of points into the bottom side of the goal. But with this rotation, Zeta has now locked in a score lead and taken every bit of experience from the mid part of the map.
Yeah, very interesting priority decision on the side of DreamHack, because they have not really provided a lot of assistance for that top lane. It's been a lot of focus down in the bottom lane.
Yep.
And I kind of question, is it because they're trying to slow down Rom? Do they want to break that bottom goal zone? Do they want to have that map control down there for that next Reggie? Why is there no priority here for this Combusken? Because they need this Blaziken to come online at some point.
Yeah, they really got to invest some resources in it. Dodrio almost getting that KO, but now it's
Oh, there we go.
That will be a revenge knockout. Liquidation going to take credit for that one, I believe. Kadazera still not at that level 7, but certainly a lot of damage is going to be breathed a bit easier. We're headed towards that 7-minute mark, a very close score line, but now the objectives are about to start spawning. It'll be Zeta Division prioritizing the top side of the map. DreamHack with a bit of a split strategy as they have to give Blaziken some farm, but they are going to have eyes on both objectives.
Yeah, we've got Urshifu coming in with the Blissey, trying to compete for that Regieleki, but Dodrio manages to get that secured, unfortunately. So DreamHack will have to deal with this potential 4-man push coming in from Zeta Division, and there's only so much you can do. Without the Bliss assist, you just don't have that boost in power to really threaten the 4-man push.
Yeah, I'm not really sure why we jumped in there with Urshifu. You want Regieleki to hit your goal zone at that point, but it's going to be tough. Now you have to try to retreat and defend your second goal zone, where these double speedsters are really going to try to take it. But DreamHack will be able to out-secure Tomato. Not an easy task that we have learned again and again and again, but they are able to take out that basement Reggie, earn a Regice buff, and of course that team-wide EXP.
Yep, Kadazera is online as well. Level 8 on that Blaziken, so really going to have to ramp it up with that experience gain. But it's going to be hard with Vitopo roaming your central area. That Dodrio trying to take your experience as well. They do catch them with the Vault Tackle, and there goes the bird going back to base. So big boost of experience going in the way of DreamHack. These little knockouts really paying off for them every time they can get them.
Ooh. Okay, we're looking at two teams that are really employing some big combos, right? We have the full tackle into the blaze kick, and then we maybe even have the Mammoth Swine to set up some moments, but there's also Tomato teeing up some big plays for Leafeon. You would hammer pull and center a few targets, allow for some big engagement with this double speedster. We're going to see a lot of knockouts in this match, and I mean, what a time to do it. The pressure is on more than it has ever been for either of these teams as a chance at the World Championship title is on the line.
Oh, they're trying to go for some quick scores, and actually they even used the Unite onto that Urshifu. No knockout, but definitely a big amount of damage, and even Pikachu coming in with the Thunderstorm. They catch the Dodrio, but they can't quite get that Leafeon, just too quick for that lone Pikachu. But again, these little pickoffs, every time DreamHack get them, this is going to push them closer and closer to not only equalizing the game, but they're actually slowly overtaking in levels.
Yeah, exactly. Such a good point, then, because, I mean, points, you're going to just kind of have to forfeit that strategy of this game. Frieza will make it away. That's not going to reach the Pikachu. They will escape. But yeah, you're going to go into the final stretch with a point deficit. That's going to happen basically no matter what. Into a Dodrio Leafeon composition, your plan is to win the team fight and secure that Rayquaza. Blizz hits on the Blaze Skin, sets up for a huge overheat. That's the first knockout, but Olivio's taken so much damage, they got to retreat. He's going to be on the receiving end of an Espeon Unite as they set up a few targets. Mammoth Swine with that Rampage, knocking around a few targets, but Tomato with an absolutely huge Horn Leech into a gigantic Unite move. The Trevenant from Zeta Division is unbelievable.
Oh, DreamHack, they ran out of gas, and when at the time they needed it the most, they just didn't land all of their big Unites. The Blizz Assist unfortunately didn't connect onto anybody. It was just the damage boost and the fact that they didn't have the necessary lockdown to lock one person down and to get those KOs. With all the Unites down, it's really hurting DreamHack, especially in this fight up against that Regieleki. And the longer they stay here grouped up and they don't get the Eleki or they don't get the knockouts, down bottom, Leafeon's going to be able to take the Reggie for free. Tomato's going to come and assist in that top lane. I don't know if you want to be giving away a free Reggie here.
Yeah, I mean...
It's a Reggie steal!
Yeah, it's going to be an attack buff, but I mean, that burst damage already is so unbelievably strong. What else are you going to have to deal with? Rom does take quite a bit of damage, but with just Blissey and Mammoth Swine there in a combo, they are not going to find a way to close the deal on that knockout. The trio Comfey has been the duo for most of the time, but interesting to see Vinovo run around without that pocket from Wachiro. Instead, it has been on, I believe, Kokada is the player that rocks the trio for Zeta Division.
Yeah, he doesn't need the pocket anymore. He's confident in how he plays again. He's potion. He's the potion Dodrio. He's got his own sustain. Down bottom, though, big Emerald two-step on that bottom gold zone, and actually two going down on the side of DreamHack. They will try to keep fighting with that Blaziken, but too many players have appeared here for Zeta Division with no knockouts. They're overwhelmed, and now it's Zeta advancing in that bottom lane towards that T2. DreamHack, this game, they've kind of equalized it, but they're still not looking comfortable here.
Tomato simply does not hit a Horn Leech without at least two members in it at any given time. This tank player has been shutting down DreamHack's offensive hopes at every single turn. If he had any time to siege one of these tier 1 gold zones, it's been shut down by a quick rotation and Tomato setting up a huge play. Horn Leech, Woodhammer, Unite move if we need it. Everything has been used to lock down DreamHack, and they have not found a way to fell this tree.
And we got 5 seconds to go before that Rayquaza spawns as well. So we're hitting that last 2-minute stretch here, folks, at the Pokemon Unite World Championships. Final game between Zeta Division and DreamHack. Team that makes it through will continue on, but the loser will be eliminated from the tournament. And Tomato has managed to catch Olivio. He's on his own, isolated, forced to use the Mammoth Mash defensively, so they won't have that anymore for this next potential fight. But who's trying to go for the cheeky play? Katazura in a very aggressive push. Vitopo scouting for the team on that Leafeon as well, but who makes the first move? Zeta Division, they're the ones playing defensive because they have that point advantage.
Yeah, Tomato with a great lockdown on the enemy L bush as they're sitting there. I mean, DreamHack knows they're there, but they simply cannot respond because of the amount of damage they will receive if Tomato locks them down for even a moment. Finally, Zeta Division will relent and move back to their side. That allows DreamHack a little bit of space. Tomato going to focus focus on that Mammal Swine yet again as Katazera knows their role.
Oh, the Blaziken!
With their combo, they're down. Olivia was going to grab that Leafeon. Pikachu Unite move is teeing up quite a bit of damage. Mammal Swine with no Unite move will not have a chance to last long in this fight, but they can still land an Ice Fang, and they're going to run.
Oh, Tomato!
Anyone with that Phantom Forest, Pikachu will eventually go down, and Zeta Division is hanging on. But Gizen and Anthros are still in this fight, but Anthros is gone.
2 for 2 so far, it's actually 3 for 2. This Dodrio doing so much damage. Yet he needs Olivia to provide that assistance. He needs some kind of disable, some kind of support. The Urshifu was down. Oh my gosh, I don't even think they have the damage. Katazera though coming in with the overheat. It's down to that Blaziken. Bird versus Bird. Who's going to win this matchup? Katazera playing with the bush, trying to catch him out, but this Dodrio, he's got the assistance, he's got the healing, the overheat's not enough, he has relented, he gave the knockout away, 8, 7, 6, Zeta Division locking this game in. They will proceed to the next round, and DreamHack, their journey ends here.
With a few moments for DreamHack where maybe they could take down this team, but Zeta Division